Hello, I'm TJ, and welcome to Life Lessons. Let's get into it. Last night I watched Hurricane Katrina Race Against Time, produced by Ryan Coogler. And when I tell you, I sat there, not necessarily dumbfounded, because I had, again, I'm old enough to remember it, and knew pretty much everything that they were trying to force down our throat wasn't as it was. And I thank Ryan Coogler and the whole team for bringing what I believe to be one of the most honest and truthful and unfiltered production. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. When I saw how they depicted the levees breaking and how it engulfed the city, it again reminded me of it wasn't the storm that did it. It was the the ineptitude and the willful ignorance of people who should have been paying attention and who were warned decades before what they needed to do. But I'm going to go ahead and say that nobody else will. Because of the demographic of the areas that it primarily affected, no one gave a damn. Mostly black, all poor. Let's start there. Let's start there. We're going to look at a couple of clips, but also I want to talk about really quickly about the looting that they wanted to, you know, capitalize on. When I looked at the footage of the looting, they were looking for food, Pampers, medicine. I didn't see nobody reeling off no damn TV. Where was they going to take it? Where was they going to take it? But that's the Jedi mind trick they wanted to play on us. Because if my memory serves me correctly, they were also looting, if you will, in the Appalachia in where was that? North Carolina, I believe. If I'm forgive me if I'm wrong. After Hurricane Helene, because they were looking for food, water, Pampers. But the spin was different. People were desperate, waiting and wanting help. What would you do? There are several things that I had problems with even during that time. Again, particularly my mother and I discussed calling them refugees. Excuse me. They were evacuated. And even back then, refugees means you're fleeing your country due to war, persecution, natural disaster. They weren't fleeing their country. But it's interesting how to spin that. Refugees. Y'all can kiss my ass if you come over here with saying, "Oh, you're race baiting," whatever. I'm saying what I seen or what I saw. Pick your poison. And see, I'm old enough to remember. So you move around. Let's take a look at this.
It was great. It was like pheasant season in South Dakota. If it moved, we got it.
Yeah, but we just look out for everybody. You had to do what you had to do. You had to shoot somebody, you had to shoot somebody. That's it.
We shot them. They were looters.
I tried to shoot to put them down. We didn't try to shoot to kill.
Oh, okay.
You killed a number of them.
How many did you kill roughly?
Cats. Latin.
Yeah, I hear you.
Doesn't matter.
The media is diabolical, dastardly, because they were reporting from the French Quarter. Wasn't nothing happening there. Diabolical. And again, the administration at the time, we will not stand for this. Law and order. Sound familiar? But, man, I have so many emotions. Again, history repeating itself. And one of the people that were interviewed talked about the previous hurricane, I believe that was in the 1960s or 70s, the same type of thing when the levees broke. So again, they had plenty of warning. Let's fix this. The people in academia telling them they ain't paying no attention. What? Sounds like now, doesn't it? Sounds like now, doesn't it? And then you have the bureaucrats talking, I'm going to be, let's let him tell it.
In all sincerity, my heart goes out to those people, and I am determined, absolutely determined, to speed this thing out and make this thing work and get the aid to those people. bullshit. So I went to his office. He was in a big fancy mobile command headquarters in Baton Rouge. And he said, that's your desk right there. I want you right next to me. I said, I don't think so. I said, I'll put somebody in that desk. The problem's in New Orleans. I can't solve it here. And he insisted that we have to have unity of command. I said, well, we can have that, but it won't be me. I've seen the eyes of those people in New Orleans. That's where I need to be. So, yeah.
Now let's change lanes and talk about General Honore. If you want a picture or portrait of leadership, you just saw it. Look him up. I remember when he was on the scene, because I was on active duty at the time. I'm like, that's what leadership looks like. The bureaucrat FEMA director said, I want you here in Baton Rouge with me for unity of command. General Honore said, I'm sorry, the people are not here in Baton Rouge. The people are in New Orleans, and that's where I'm going to be. See you later, bye. I'm going to be on the grounds with the people. See, that's what truth to power looks like. I'm sorry people in this administration don't know what that looks like, but that's a testament in what truth to power looks like. And then when the people come, when the soldiers come to help the people, he tells them, put the guns down. You're delivering food. But see, that's the orders they came with. These animals, these savages. Oh, they've been calling the savages forever. You need to go down and put them down. And they did put some down. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. They talked about the total loss was about 1,300 people. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. And seeing what I saw in all natural disaster is a disaster. I'm sorry. Recent pales in comparison. Pales in comparison.
Crime problem during Katrina. We had an evacuation problem. We had a command and control issue. We had logistic issues. We had transportation issues. We get people out as quick as we could, but it wasn't a crime problem. But boy, we got a lot of troops and police on the street. We're ready. Nobody's going to loot this town. When you got all these old people in the building, don't get fucking dying. Hello. Getting loaded, everything seemed to be going well. But then one of the senior pilots on the ground flying a civilian airplane said, well, we can't take off. We don't have a manifest. So he told my major, and my major called me out and said, hey, boss, we got a problem. They haven't taken off. The people have been sitting here for hours because we don't have a manifest. I said, well, let me talk to him. So I talked to him on the phone. I said, look, a lot of these people here even have identification. There's no computers out here. We can't create no manifest. I said, we can give you a yellow piece of paper. And when they walk on the airplane, you take their names out, and that's going to be your manifest. I fly the fucking airplane. And the planes took off.
Lastly, I want to shout out the first responders who were on the ground when things first happened, to the Coast Guard and the fire department. Shout out, because you all did the best you could with the resources you had, and I salute those people who were not just and I'm talking about the residents of New Orleans who took action to try to save as many lives as they could. So I salute all of you. I really do. And I encourage each and every one of you to see this. It is very sobering. Very sobering. And regrettably, not much has changed. So the question becomes, what have we learned since Katrina? Considering what has happened with Hurricane Helene, what happened in Texas recently, I say not much. A whole bunch of talking, though. A whole bunch of finger pointing. But it's a matter of the haves and the have-nots. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.